Have you ever watched a money heist on Netflix? Are you a fan of Denzel Washington's Inside Man? If so, you're already aware how fascinating bank robberies cases are. But it's all fun until the FBI starts tracking you down. Today we will introduce you to some of the real-life money heist professionals who were able to execute mass bank robberies and are still on the hit list of the FBI's most wanted criminals. You'll know just how they were able to execute their plan, the consequences of their actions, and what was the aftermath of the event. But who are these notorious men that you probably have never heard of? Well, we have compiled some of the most exciting stories for you. Before going into the details, if you want to be notified when new videos are released, subscribe now. Daniel Harris. Let's start with Daniel Harris. No one would believe how dangerous this seemingly innocent and elderly man really is. The FBI has also labeled him as violent and dangerous. Born on December the 4th, 1957, Daniel is American and was born in Missouri. From appearances alone, Harris's short and scrawny stature of 5 feet 6 and 130 pounds could easily lead you to believe he was no threat to anyone. However, on March the 15th, 2017, he stormed St. Louis Community Credit Union with a firearm and demanded cash. Although a typical robbery with a high chance of failure, Daniel was able to escape successfully with an undisclosed amount of cash, and that too on foot. What followed was a failed attempt by the authorities to track down Daniel Harris. The FBI has admitted they have exhausted all possible leads in tracking down the robber and that they now need the public's help, although they still passionately believe he is hiding in St. Louis. It's still unclear if his plan was premeditated or if he had help carrying out the heist. For now, it seems as if Daniel Harris was just a lone wolf with an ounce of luck. Mohsin Zamir. Born in Pakistan and later moved to America, Mohsin was a fitness freak who had modeled for various companies and was even hired by companies as an IT specialist. But this was not enough for Mohsin, and his greed led him to rob a bank in Tonawanda, New York on January the 8th, 2016. It seemed that Mohsin had socialized well enough in America, and he had ties in many cities including Boston, Massachusetts, New York, etc. Mohsin, along with his longtime friend Makar, entered the bank with firearms and aimed pistols at the bank staff. Mohsin and his crew used a technique of fast and violent robbery as they hurled abuses at the bank staff to minimize any response time from the authorities. Mohsin demanded to empty the cash counters and filled their bags with money before advancing for the main vault. With no choice, the bank staff was forced to unlock the vault as they saw Mohsin and his crew fleeing away successfully. In February of 2017, the FBI issued arrest warrants for the two suspects, but has still been unable to track them down. Although the FBI has placed a reward of $15,000 on anyone who disclosed any information which could lead to their arrest, Mohsin still roams freely and is still on the hit list of the FBI's most wanted bank robbers. Waqar Guman. As you know already, an important ally of Mohsin Zamir and a suspect in the robbery of a bank in New York, Waqar Guman is one of the most wanted on the FBI's list. As a longtime friend to Mohsin, Waqar is also a Pakistani who moved to America for a better future. Unlike Mohsin, Waqar worked as a Class A truck driver and frequently traveled to the West Coast and other areas. The FBI believes that Waqar is traveling with Mohsin since they are longtime friends and are also equally guilty in the bank robbery case in New York. Although the FBI has little information, it is believed that they may have fled back to Pakistan. Nonetheless, the FBI is still on their tails and has placed a reward of $15,000 for any information that could lead to Waqar Guman. DeRoy King Jr. But perhaps the most exciting robbery case is of DeRoy King Jr. Just as the name seems legendary, DeRoy King had played real-life Fast and Furious. Born in Saltville, Virginia, DeRoy was an American and perhaps the most skilled robber of the list. In December 1989, DeRoy King made his move and entered a bank in Simpsonville, South Carolina. After the usual rounds of threatening with firearms and hurling abuses, DeRoy was able to inflict fear and demanded money. After fulfilling his greed, he ordered the bank staff to get into a closet, possibly trying to take them hostage, but quickly realized that time was of the essence and was able to flee the scene successfully. The FBI chased DeRoy King in vain for a few months. In March 1990, DeRoy taunted the authorities by once again robbing the same bank. His efforts were once again successful, and he was able to leave with bags full of cash. Unlucky for DeRoy, authorities had an incredible response time this go-around. The police chased DeRoy around the streets of Simpsonville, but their chase was cut when DeRoy fired his weapons at the officers. DeRoy King once again escaped. It is to no surprise that DeRoy King sits at the head of the table when it comes to the most wanted bank robbers. Although the FBI issued arrest warrants on March 13, 1990, DeRoy King is nowhere to be found. That said, with no international ties, authorities believe he is still hiding somewhere in the United States. Have you seen him? Bank robberies happen every day across this country, but an extremely high percentage of them are carried out by unidentifiable individuals or citizens that are swiftly caught by the authorities. It's very rare that known robbery suspects stay free, and that's what's earned these men a spot on the FBI's most wanted list. Thanks for watching our video. Be sure to subscribe to our channel so you can stay up to date on all of our latest videos.